Here we are.
Oh snap. Where'd I go?
You're right there. You're fine. You're fine. Good morning, everybody.
He's fine for now. Give it a little while. Her internet will screw up.
Give it just a little bit.
That was yesterday, actually, and I was on the phone with Comcast last night.
Yeah, man, you need to get their butts in gear, man. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, panel.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brick World. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and as you can see, as per usual, out of all of us, the Brick Babe is the one that represents and brings it. Yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday. It is also Black History Month. And we wanted to not just celebrate it, but acknowledge it in kind of our own special way, our own unique way. And we're going to do this in two parts, just so everybody knows. So the first part, which will be today, we want to kind of go into more, I guess, subject matter. Just talk about things in Lego that revolves around African Americans, Black people, and just like different things, everything from the flesh tone discussion that a lot of us have to just inside real life and corporate headquarters and stuff, and diversity and inclusion. One thing I want to make sure I'm clear about is this is not a Lego bashing episode or anything like that. This is not a Hive stream or anything. We really do acknowledge and appreciate everything that Lego does, because they do a lot of very awesome things that is inclusive to everybody and not just a couple different groups. I mean, Lego's pretty far reaching when it comes to that stuff. But, like I said, there is some things we like to discuss. There's a lot of stuff we want to acknowledge. The second part, which will be next Sunday, is going to go more into creators. I think we can almost fill up a whole hour just highlighting different people in the community that really either don't get recognized or don't get recognized enough. So we just want to, like I said, kind of do it in our own special way. We also will be having some guests. I'm not sure exactly what time they'll show up on the show, because I told them they can come on whenever they want. Plus, we have another guest that I think is just going to be on the next episode instead. But Cafe Corner will be here with us, and Mo, Lights Camera Lego, will be here as well. I wasn't sure, and almost until the last minute, exactly what was going to happen with the guests, so I will be putting their descriptions in the links, or the links in the description below. Just give me some time. However, the links to our co-hosts are in the description below, so please go over there and subscribe to them. Go check out their stuff. They put out awesome content. Want to say hello and thank you to the Replay Gang. You guys are awesome. You never ever stop amazing me on the replay. I'd rather say it than that, but yeah, I look at the views and the numbers, and I'm touched, I'm flattered, and I'm honored that you guys, like us enough to keep coming back and watching and be entertained.
Don't forget about Drew.
Oh yeah,
No, we don't need Drew. He's not here.
So you guys might know we have a co-host missing at the moment. Drewbrickz is in Atlanta BrickCon along with everybody else in the Lego community.
Yeah.
Except for us. No, it looks like it's a lot of fun. I've never been to Atlanta BrickCon. I've been to Atlanta a few times, but I knew it was one of the bigger ones. You know what I mean?
I don't think they've intended for it to be as big as it is.
Yeah, because I didn't think it was that big.
I think over the years it's like exponentially grown.
Yeah, and I know they've gotten put on the map a little bit more by a couple people. But people that have been there, including Drew and many others that all of us know and talk to and stuff like that. Like Rich was just talking about, a couple of his friends have been interviewed by Beyond the Brick.
I got one of my really good friends who also is in the Black Falcon people. He has a couple Star Wars mocks, and every time he builds one, he'll actually sell it to fund the next build.
Get out.
And he just sold one a couple months ago to start his new one, and it's the first time he's displayed it, and he not only got interviewed by Beyond the Brick, but also won Best Star Wars.
Awesome.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I mean, that's a big deal, man. Look, it's for anybody that's that's been in the community long enough, you know things, you know people, you know channels and stuff like that. If Beyond the Brick came up to you, just wanted to interview, man, you probably feel heck a special honored. Wow, you know what I mean? But for a builder, it's a whole different level because it's not just about you, really. You know what I mean? It's about your build, and you get to highlight it, and then everybody gets to see it. It's a really awesome exposure, and so that's awesome.
That's my goal for Brick Fair.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, dude. Yeah, I mean, so and beyond that, no pun intended with Beyond the Brick, but beyond that, we just other people we know, we've gotten to see a lot of different stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen videos and pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. And as usual, man, people they be cooking. I'm telling you, man, there's some of the mocks, not just some big awesome mocks, but even like small detailed ones. Because I was telling Mrs. Hive, I think that's where the next direction I want to go with my next mock. I want to kind of go down a little bit on the size, you know, but I want to do something kind of intricate.
No.
I probably won't, knowing me, but so anyways, Atlanta BrickCon, awesome stuff. Everybody's having a good time, and Drew, we miss you, but you know, we understand completely. You know, you and Rich especially definitely go to a lot more mocks or conventions and stuff. So okay.
And the Dream Builders lug is there.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Make sure you stop by.
Lene, you said that the Dream Builders lug had like a big display there.
I said we had 11 builds there, 11 mocks.
12. Were they displayed together?
Yeah.
Was it considered a lug display?
Yes.
Well then, sorry we beat you because we won that too.
I was like, where is this going?
Oh, we don't compete. We're community over competition. We don't compete. Some of the members may compete, but the
I don't ever want to hear you say the words "you don't compete in anything."
Oh no, I do, but the lug doesn't.
Our lug, well, one of the lugs I'm in won, and I'll be honest with you, like I was surprised to see that because
really,
yeah, because when you go to a convention like that, there's always I know what my lug kind of displays. They continuously have a city that buildings get moved around, stuff gets added to it, blah blah blah. But like New Hashima is there.
Yeah, that's
How they beat that, I do not know, unless everybody is just like, you know, we expected it. I don't know if they have like a separate category of like best big builds, but I wouldn't want to give that to like a big build because that means that whole thing gets one trophy and there's like 100 people in it. So
I guess I'd have to rotate it. So one of our guests is in the green room. We're going to bring her on in just a second. I just want to go over a couple things real quick. We are on Spotify. I think I got the Apple account working. I need to go back and double check everything before I say anything for sure. So you can always listen to it on Spotify for now. If you'd like to support the channel, you can become a member. Oh, real quick. We do have a new member. It doesn't show on the chat, but Extra Bricks is a member now. So let me just do a thing real quick for you, member Bricks. Here, let's see here.
Is it
me? And together we can rule the galaxy.
What's that?
Is it member bricks or extra bricks?
Extra.
So he has extra bricks I need. So
so yes, like I said, if you want to support the channel, become a member. You can do a super chat or whatever. I forget all the other stuff, but there's many ways. All right. One other thing real quick before I bring on our guest. Pertaining to Black History Month. I did put a poll out there. And the poll says, do you think flesh tones should be in more than just friends and IP sets? Now, I want everybody to understand something, you know, because you might be confused because we're doing a Black History Month thing here. That's not just for people of color. It's I mean, technically we're all color, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But I mean, also for someone that looks like me, my sig fig, I wanted a flesh tone to look like me. You know, I don't want a yellow sig fig. And if you do, that's fine. I want everyone to understand this is not a shaming thing, and obviously it's anonymous. If you feel like yellow minifigs is what you like, and the thing that Lego represents about it, or that they say about it, man, more power to you. We're just curious. And right now we got 46 votes, and I'll be darned, it's 50-50. Right on the
We
mic.
got 46
That
votes.
sounds like it.
There's 41 people watching, but we only have like 28 likes. So somebody out there ain't clicking
Hit
the
the
right
like
Please
button.
hit that like button, everybody. It's
Hit
part of
the
a healthy
like.
breakfast.
You're clicking the wrong thing. You're clicking the wrong thing.
All right, before we get into the good morning chats, let's go ahead and bring on our first guest. It is the wonderful CC.
Hey,
CC, how are you? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, sorry. Usually I like mute the microphone separately and then I come into the chat unmiked or unmuted.
Great.
But this time I did it differently and it threw me off. But redo. Take 2. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
All right.
Doing
Yeah,
great.
good. Yeah.
So first, remember, it's nothing's your fault. It's all Hive did it. Just go ahead
Oh,
and say
yes.
that.
Of course.
Yeah, I hit the button by accident.
Unless you want to blame Brick Babe, that's always a thing too. She's normally.
By the way, were you gonna say something, Brick Babe?
Oh no, I was
No,
gonna
I'm
say
building Captain America, and I'm on bag 2, but I have at least a gabillion parts left over, and I'm like, what's going on? I have at least 20 pieces.
I have to say this, even though I acknowledge that you brought it as far as how you dress and everything. I've got to tell you again, those glasses are absolutely adorable.
I couldn't find the headband. Thank you. I have the headband with the
you look
flags.
so adorable with those glasses.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't find the football earrings or the headband.
Yeah, I know.
maybe she should take those glasses off so she could see where them pieces go.
Oh,
Even though it's probably going to
Really?
take me 20 minutes to get to it. In the chat, let me know if you are rooting for either one of the Super Bowl teams, which one you might be rooting for. On the panel, is anybody rooting for either side? I mean,
I don't care who wins.
certainly not the Chiefs.
yeah, I don't care either, man. I was like,
I personally think that the funny thing about it is the tinfoil hat people think it's all a rigged sport now.
is it because of Taylor Swift?
Well, no, they're saying that they came out with these. I don't know what they are. They're not made by pop figures, but they're definitely a ripoff. And it's the whole 49ers Super Bowl team. And it literally says on the box like 49ers championship or Super Bowl winners.
I think somebody else was telling me something about that too. It might have been you. I can't remember. But somebody was telling me about this, man. Like
Well,
they
they're
already
The
did
49ers, then.
some of the championship stuff or whatever.
There's a bunch of like, I don't know. I'm not a huge football fan. I do like football.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge basketball fan.
Same here,
Actually, the sport that I watch the most is actually wrestling, which is the most fake thing that's out there.
It's about entertainment, man. That's,
Yeah, but what's funny is like the more and more that I guess the media controls everything, the more you hear about how the football's rigged and sports are rigged, and
it is a really wild thing, man. Because I know there's a lot of ways it can be rigged. I mean, even if you just pay off one ref, that could sway the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Immensely. I guess, like most people, we'd probably just go into it, like being optimistic. It's a little harder with basketball, I think, just because a lot of the controversy that's gone on with basketball and that kind of stuff. I don't understand a lot of it because, like you, I'm a casual fan. I don't like follow it hardcore or anything. So, like, what was it a couple years ago with the football deflating thing with the Patriots or whatever?
yeah,
Ryan would be good to talk about that. I'm sure he's got an opinion or whatever. But some people were like losing their minds, and I was like, was it really that different? Like, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it could be, I guess. Anyways, let's say our good mornings, as is tradition, and then we could. Oh, I'm sorry. We have another guest. I saw it pop in, and I was running my mouth.
I'm muted. Okay. We're right next to each other, just so you know. So we may have to
okay.
adjust.
I'm sorry.
Let's see
I
how
feel
it
bad
goes.
for her. Mo, I apologize. That's
Hi, Mo. It's Lights, Camera, Lego.
Hey, Mo.
what's up.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How's everybody?
Pretty good.
Peachy.
Good.
Wrong
So
side.
you guys are in the same room. It looks completely different.
I know, isn't that wild?
Oh, that's because of her. She has a whole different setup going on. But yeah, we're literally right next to each other.
But that
That's
worked out
awesome.
also with
I mean,
the mic.
literally. I don't know. Can you see? Your camera's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right next to each other. So,
But the mic works great with Mo, because I could hear it just fine through your mic.
yeah, she muted her, so I didn't have that.
Yeah, no, it's smart.
That what? What kind of sound was that? Step on your cat's tail or something?
Oh, gosh. All right. So no more bricks. Good morning, pre-play gang. Which I think was coined from a couple of brickheads. It's a good one instead of replay. It's pre-play. Also, I saw somebody else in there, but I can't remember now because my memory's bad. Let's see here. Click and Cliff. Good morning. How you doing? What is going on?
Click and Cliff. Good morning.
Goblin Zero. Good morning, and pre-show gang. Whiskey 488. What's up, Brick World? Good morning. How are you? Whiskey, I saw you sent me a message. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to reply yet. Delicious Foods says, hey, yo, good morning, Brick World. Let's see here. Big Nate Bricks. Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, you had a different hat on. You had a pirate hat on in the intro this time. Miss Amby, good morning. How are you doing? Let's see, there's that Hive guy. We'll scroll past him. Let's see here. Don't forget to like the stream. Yes, thank you. For whatever reason, I've mentioned this before, the algorithm loves the likes more than just about anything else. So yeah, please help us, help the algorithm, help us. Let's see. Macro Bricks, good morning.
At the end of the day, I'm helping you.
Good morning, Brick World. I gotta go work and lurk this AM. Best to you all. Thank you, man. Thank you. And enjoyed your stream last night. I was kind of in and out lurking. It was a weird night last night. King Oldendorf, good morning, Brick World. Yeah, I put you next to the cave this morning. Hoarder 66, good morning to you. Ricardo, what's going on? Good morning, all. Let's go 49ers. There you go. Someone's rooting for San Francisco. Who are you guys rooting for? Well, you know, all of us said nobody. Mo, did you have a team in mind? Did you?
I had the Ravens, but I honestly think the 49ers are going to win.
Yeah, well, I was rooting for the Ravens too, but
if they win, does Taylor leave Kelsey if the 49ers win?
I think so.
I tell you this much. The one thing I know about athletes is a lot of them are pretty superstitious. So if the Chiefs win, why do I think they're always going to want Taylor Swift to be at their games?
The question is, if they win, does he propose?
That's the big question.
You think he's gonna propose?
Why wouldn't he? It'd be the perfect time to. Look, I'm sorry, but he's dumb if he don't propose to that woman.
Are they that serious?
I don't know, but
you know what he should do is he should make a commitment. He should make a solid commitment to make it to the Super Bowl next year and ask her next year. Dude, it's too soon. Didn't they just start dating?
No, that's not guaranteed. Yeah. He better get it while he can.
Yeah, he's got to get it while he can.
Well, you staying in a relationship with Taylor Swift ain't guaranteed either. You know what I mean? So you should go write a song about you.
You know
exactly. And she was with someone for like, what was it, 5 or 6 years, and
really
then immediately like dumped him and got into a new relationship. She's,
you know, something I forget about Taylor Swift because I'm not a fan. Is that she was in country first, man.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then she just kind of, I guess, migrated into pop. But I don't know, a lot of countries pop now. But anyways, all right.
Country ain't cool.
Country's still cool. I just don't listen to enough of it. I like the old school stuff more, like Johnny Cash and stuff like that. Alternate candidate, what's going on? How you doing? Tori, what's going on? I'm rooting for the commercials. A lot of people watch the Super Bowl for the commercials. My dad does. He doesn't even like football, but he'll watch it for the commercials.
The commercials have sucked in the past couple of years, though.
They haven't been great. I won't lie. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the Deadpool 3 teaser tonight in the Super Bowl. That's a big one. And I will say, this isn't a Super Bowl commercial, but there's been a commercial lately for, I think it's State Farm Insurance.
Yes.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Agent State Farm.
He kept going, labor. Anyways, it is hilarious. Shy Sig Fig is the best one. It looks just like him. It does. And you also can get a Sig Fig to look just like you if you pay a lot of money for it. Because those things aren't cheap, man. Let's see.
Somebody said that, which I know Chef is the only one that I know, like personally, that has gotten their minifigs from him. But somebody said their prices went up again.
Really? And which one was this?
I mean, do you want me to put them out there?
No, well, I mean, I can't remember where he got his from.
Brick Forge.
Yeah, I thought it was the BB Forge, right?
Yeah, BB.
Oh, they went up again?
That's what somebody said. That somebody said it's like, so you got to pay the initial like $75 to get they're them to design it, and then you get I think it's 2 or 3 things that you can change about it. And then once that, they give you a minifig. They print the minifig, and then there's that you get. And then, if I'm not mistaken, after that, it's like $15 or $16 per minifig.
Everybody in the chat, and and whoever, even in the panel and stuff, because I don't want to get into too much of it right now, but message me on Instagram or whatever, what you think is a good place for me to get my sig fig done at.
Do you just want torsos?
I've been thinking about it, but I think I might need to get a little bit more than that, because I wanted to get my arm with the blue flame on it too. I don't need to get anything else detailed. I was just gonna get like my logo and then maybe something on the back, but so it shouldn't be crazy, but yeah, I might even just get the upper part with the head and the torso and all that, and then I'll just get on Bricklink and buy like a bunch of blue jeans or something. You know what I mean? Christine Harbor, good morning. How you doing?
Good
morning.
Danny Phantoms, what's going on? Zizu, what's going on? Whiskey is spelled wrong in the intro. Oh, I forgot the E, didn't I? Dang it, my bad.
At least he's watching.
Nah, man, because I'm usually a stickler about stuff like that, even though I'm a horrible speller. But Bearded Brix, good morning. What's going on, Brent? Brent, I was almost going to do an impersonation of you on the Hive stream the other night, man, but I was like, nah, man, it's good. See here, Jude, what's going on? How you doing, brother? Cajun, sometimes it's hard to pronounce stuff because of my dyslexia, and then like some words are put together. You know what I mean? Cajun A-Fall, what's going on? Forget the Super Bowl. Happy Mardi Gras weekend. Is it Mardi Gras weekend?
Ooh, yes, it is.
Because I know, doesn't like Fat Tuesday like revolve around that or something? I should know this living in Key West.
This Tuesday is Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm fat every day. I don't need a special day.
And then Lenten season starts.
Oh, that's right. And that's when they like do the ash on the forehead, right?
Uh-huh.
I should also know that. I used to be Catholic.
No, I said ash.
Ash.
Most said it sounded like something
Ash
else.
Wednesday or something.
I said ash. I did not say that. I did not. That's so sacrilegious.
I'm so
We have
sorry.
told you you need to get your head out of the gutter, especially on the morning
I
work
didn't
wall.
say that.
Gosh,
I
Yeah, it's more for
ash.
Carnival, not for Mardi Gras.
the Lord going to strike me down on Good Morning Brick World. I'm like, oh,
Facts.
man, the wrong
But
stream,
listen
wrong
to Mo.
stream.
I'll believe Mo over you any day. That's
Well, she's muted.
Moto, what's going on? Beyond the
Moto.
brick goals. Yes, beyond the brick, because that is a goal. Even if it's not a goal, it's just a subconscious goal if you like build and stuff like that. Lonely One Kenobi, what's going on? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Let's see. Goblin Zero says Hive's next mock will be 16 by 16 mini mocks connected together. I can't do that, man. Dude, even like this one that I'm working on now, it's big. Larry, what's going on, my friend? See here, Justice Food says going to and showing in my first show at Brick Radio. Ah, yeah, that's another one. That's in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it doesn't tell you. See here, Andrew Phillips, Brick and Brood. What's going on? Yeah, sorry everybody, we will not be having a live stream calendar for different reasons, but we do have a birthday that we might have to put on the celebration list. Brick and Brood has a child with a birthday today, so happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to them.
Hey, speaking of
yes.
kids' birthdays, did we ever find out?
Oh,
No, I dropped the ball.
Hey, Will, I got a question. What is your daughter's name?
That was my fault.
I mean, I think we did have the name. I think we just kind of.
Well, no, I said I thought what the name was. We were supposed to message him.
Well, it's okay
Yep.
because there was another birthday, I think, too. I got to double check. We're catching up, everybody. We're catching up. So, don't be sorry. It's all good. It's a lot to keep up with sometimes.
We need to blame her.
Well, and sometimes, look, the most solid way to get your birthday on celebrations is to literally message us. But occasionally, sometimes we'll see something and we try and remember it or throw it on or whatever. But anyways, see here. Cafe Corner. What's going on?
Good morning.
Camel City Brick House. What's going on? Good morning to you. How you doing? Oh, look, you got a fan out there. Moto. Moto, I know I keep saying it like every other week or whatever, but I promise I am going to be getting a hold of you soon. I wanted to have a nice build and conversation with you. So I've been saving and holding on to your meow mech, your kitty cat mech. Definitely want to build that soon. So Whiskey says flesh tone should be in most sets now. Yellow should be limited to classic sets. That is a very good take in my opinion, Whiskey. You know, again, we're going to talk about it a little bit more in the second hour, but I want to remember that because that's a really good take. Multigasm Geek, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Morning.
Southern Brick Guy, good morning. Going to the
Morning.
Atlanta
He's-
BrickCon today. Rock
Yeah.
on.
He's down there.
Excellent.
Woohoo.
Excellent. Yeah, dude, it looks like a lot of fun. And it looks bigger than I thought too. I didn't think it was going to be too big, but it looks like there's definitely a lot of room in there. Fab Blondie's Bricks, good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Who did I miss? Click and Cliff, good morning. Go Chiefs. No more bricks. How you doing? Good morning, says Team Swizzy. Let's see here. I don't care who wins. I understand that sports ball is doing foots today. I'm like watching for the commercials. Honestly, I hate sports. And when I get back into Lego, when I got back into Lego, I was really hoping that I would be surrounded by sports hating nerds like myself. No such luck. I mean, you know, there are definitely people with different opinions about it, though. There's no doubt about that. You know, the crazy thing is, like, when I was growing up, you know, when I was a teenager in high school and stuff, I was a skater, so I just kind of knew everybody, you know, jocks included. I just was friends with everybody, hung out with everybody. But yeah, some people had different experiences. Moto says if the game was rigged, I wouldn't be getting so many gambling app ads.
They just I guess it was, I didn't know that it wasn't like a thing to begin with, but apparently they just unlocked the ability to gamble in North Carolina, where I'm at.
Oh.
And there is every commercial you see on TV is like like Kevin Hart. There's one with like all these football players.
Yeah, here in Baltimore too, man.
Is like,
I can't remember their names now, but you'd think I would know. I've seen so many billboards and everything, commercials, and
like you can bet now. You can bet now.
I haven't seen any.
Yeah, right. Definitely in the city. Definitely, they've got them all over in the city. Kevin Hart, yeah, he was all over the place too. Let's see here. They make shirts and hats and stuff for both teams. The losing team stuff gets donated to the needy in other countries. I guess they don't want to give them to the needy in this country, just to, you know, you don't want people thinking like they didn't win, going all over the place. They didn't win. Why are you wearing the shirt? Let's see here. No More Bricks says, as a Niners fan, Niners coverage sucks. Tech, what's up? Shout out to Taylor Swift for shining light on the Super Bowl. She's running the music industry, not helping out sports. That's my queen. Man, you simps, I swear about Taylor Swift, man. Look, I will tell you this. That woman is a Mongol when it comes to business, man. I don't know how much influence like directly she has on stuff, or if she even knows that she's having, or if it's a subconscious thing. I heard she made like she brought for the Chiefs their merchandise or whatever went up like $350 million ever since her and that dude started dating.
Yeah, but
like,
that's
and Tech, by the way, Tech, I was kidding about the same thing. It's all good if you love Taylor Swift. But yeah, it's mind-blowing, dude.
Taylor Swift fans follow her so closely that they care about her boyfriend playing football now. I mean, that's
those Swifties. Those Swifties, they're
like a cult.
It is a cult.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I might have to do a Hive.
I said it was like one.
I'll have to do a Hive stream on them or something like that. Let's see here.
She can appreciate that.
Well, Hive, it was nice knowing you, but you just got hit by the
any publicity is good publicity, right?
Cancel culture.
Hey, this is no lie. I listen to the radio every once in a while, and I always like hearing all like the stupid stuff that goes on in the country. But apparently there was a kid, he's not a kid, he's like a college guy or whatever, and he found the ability to pretty much track people's airplanes, which is not an illegal thing to do at all.
That's scary.
Every plane has to have a flight, record of where it leaves, where it goes, blah blah blah. And he was following Taylor Swift's private jet, and he was putting the information out there for all of her fans and stuff like that. Well, she contacted a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, we're going to go after this guy. They went after the guy. The guy also had a lawyer and was like, well, he's not doing anything illegal. So the guy was like, look, if you don't want me to do it, pay me $100,000 and I'll stop. And she said no. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to continue to put it out there. And apparently this guy did the same thing to Elon Musk, and Elon Musk paid him.
That's extortion.
It's not extortion, though. It's nothing. I mean, it's information that anybody can find out.
Wow.
I don't know. Look, the only thing I will say as far as like, but even if like, I completely agree what you're saying is true about it being legal or whatever, but I will say celebrities, especially somebody on like Taylor Swift level, man, like she could probably easily fight that in court. You know what I mean? Because her being a target, it's kind of like the same way. Like if, I guess if a celebrity were to show somebody's house and doxing them or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, well, that's a little bit different, but
that did happen.
Yeah, with
Smoke.
Yeah, man, and
he
then
died from it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Brick Askew, good morning to you. Joseph, Nails, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, snap. Man.
Where am I at here? King Owner of Tech, you up late? Oh, Topic Bricks. What's going on, Topic Bricks? Hello. How you doing? Extra Bricks. There's the new member I was talking about. How you doing? Thank you, Extra Bricks, for your becoming a member. I appreciate that very much. Delicious says she seems super down to earth, but still kind of ring. Could you ever get the most recognizable person in the entire world? Gotta be Infinity Stone or something. I will say, look, I don't know her or anything like that, but Taylor does seem like she's a pretty nice person, man.
I don't trust it,
but whatever. Open build repeat. OBR, what's going on? OBR was just on Full of Bricks Friday. Good stuff. Let's see. Lady McBrick. Good morning. We'll be seeing Lady McBrick in Chicago. Can't wait. Along with a lot of other people. I can't remember who all is going to be there, man. I feel like everybody will be pretty much. Shy, what's up?
Hey, Shy.
Let's see. My Bricks and Me. Good morning. Lego Head Productions. What's up? Should have done an impression of Brent's Bricks brick clicker impression. Oh yeah, man. Brent does a great brick clicker impression. No doubt. B-Boys, what's going on? Did someone say Agent State Farm? Let's see here. Who else is out there? Who am I missing? We're getting close to the bottom of the chat here, so I know I gotta be getting close. Redmond Bricks, what's going on? She's the generation's Michael Jackson, most famous person on earth.
Don't you?
That's
I don't know who said that. Ever say that?
That's a bold statement. Look, I will.
Yeah,
and look, this might be a biased opinion. I mean, because clearly I don't have like data to back this up, but I know Taylor Swift is extremely famous beyond what I could probably imagine. But dude, Michael Jackson, that's a bold statement, dude. Because Michael Jackson was famous since he was what, 5?
And all over the world. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere the streets were.
Yeah.
And then just
I'm not even a big Michael Jackson fan, but I'll tell you right now that she is nowhere near as big as Michael Jackson.
But we could sit here and argue with the Swifties all day long.
Compare her to Beyonce.
Yeah. She's bigger than Beyonce by sure.
What?
I wouldn't say
she's bigger than Beyonce.
She ain't no diva.
I mean, I would definitely say she's beaten Beyonce probably in numbers, but again, I don't have data to back a lot of stuff up.
Beyonce is a MILF now. Okay.
Well,
apples and oranges. Can I say that?
You can say, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
PG-13 show. We're good.
Okay.
Tech says, "Oh, I am a simp for Taylor. She's the one." I love you, Tech. See, Brick Reed says Hive was a skater boy. Oh man, jeez, I shouldn't have said that. Ivan, good morning. Says I got an idea what the Lego Taj Mahal parts is to build a mock of the upcoming Lego Notre Dame Cathedral of Paris. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting set to see. I'm curious to see how that's going to be because it's a mini build or whatever, right?
Well, it's architecture, so it's going to be like a certain scale. Dads
are saying their little girls are watching football and spending time with them. Well, look at that, Taylor bringing families together. All right, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody because I see him at the bottom. Not Texas, not Bearded Brix, intimidated by a strong, independent female.
Facts. That's all it is.
I highly doubt he's intimidated by a strong.
I'm gonna let you know that I like Beyonce for totally different reasons that I'll respect Taylor Swift.
I will say Taylor. I don't. Yeah, never mind. I won't say that. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, but if I had to put on a scale between Taylor and Beyonce, I'm going Beyonce all day. Extra Brick says, "Oh crap, he was talking about me earlier. I hope it was during a rant." No. Unless you want that, like if you like pain or something, I'll definitely rant about you. All right, we've gotten through the good mornings as is tradition, and well, I guess we should just go ahead and. All right, let me show the screen here real quick.
We ain't got to share the screen. We were getting another goat. Move on.
Okay.
All right.
That's all that matters is we are getting another.
Oh, we're getting another goat.
Well,
is this spotted?
Same mold.
Another goat. Another one.
Another one.
All right. So let's talk about this real quick. I know a lot of people are really excited about this, and it looks great.
It's amazing for the price it is.
230 euros. So what is that, about 250?
$230.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I especially if you've got the Lion Knight's castle, the design of all this stuff looks really great. Very obviously similar to the Lion Knight's castle.
Does it show a close up of the figs in here?
Some of them here. Oh,
all right. Scroll down a little bit. No,
yeah, I know which
all
one
you need right there, far right. We getting a new wolf pack torso. Done.
So in the last couple of years, and Rich and some of y'all know this a little more than me because I can't keep up with a lot of it. But okay, so last couple of years we got the Black Falcons back, we got the Lion Knights back, and now we got the wolf pack. And didn't we get those tree guys too?
Well, so everything is getting updated. The thing that I guess I wish they would have changed is they're doing the same thing to all of them in a way. Mm-hmm. They're all getting chainmail pretty much is the update. But It's really cool to see something other than just a bare torso with a crest put on the front.
Agreed. Here's the next goat we're getting. Now, this is something I wanted to bring up and ask all of you. Man, I've really got to do a tinfoil hat clip or something. But so why... And look, I'm reaching, but I'm just curious. It's just a curious question. Why wouldn't they have reprinted the same print on the goat?
You mean the white one?
Yeah, with the brown spots to help, I guess, bring the cost of it down, or just.
I mean, why would you want to bring the cost of something down if you're selling your product?
It's an OG goat.
No. Rich has got a really strong point there because where would you most likely buy one of those goats? More than
think of it if they just came out with another a Star Wars set and they put Darth Revan in it and it was a $50 set or a $150 set.
Well, but Lego shouldn't care about that, right? However, again, if you're going to buy some of this stuff, where would you more than likely buy it off of? Bricklink. Right.
And Bricklink is owned by
Lego.
The
problem
Taylor
is
Swift.
And look again, like I said, this is not going to be a Lego bashing episode. I just ask these things because I'm like, because let's say they're like, well, we wanted a different goat. Okay, I hear you, but we got a different goat.
I'll go a step
different goat right here.
I don't think it's the same. Like I agree that that's probably what they should have done was made it different. And I'm not going to necessarily say that they didn't make it different because of any specific reason, but I think it has a lot to do with just how the Lego community in itself enjoys the whole entire animal kingdom now. And it gives it a chance to come in a different color. Like, I mean, we have plenty of different color chickens. We've got different color rabbits. We've got different colors, everything. So
that's a good answer. Because you're right. It would. I mean, look, even if you can't get that old goat, it's still cool to have at least different colored goats. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah. Right on.
The only thing that I'm surprised at is I've been, of course, like me being like the goat hoarder over here, I've been really surprised that the prices haven't dropped on the other one. They had like a slight drop at first, but ever since they keep releasing all these goats and their different colors, that's like the original OG one has stayed strong.
Oh, and there was one other tinfoil thing we wanted to kind of just drop about this set as well.
You talking about what I mentioned?
Yeah, you want to mention it?
I think it is absolutely hilarious that so first of all, we were going to talk about anyway, the Bricklink designer sets.
Yeah.
They're way too overpriced. If I had a chance to do a Hive stream right now, you'd hear a bunch of customers. It makes no sense because there's no. I understand that a person is creating the instructions, but that's all they're doing, and that doesn't make that any more. I mean, every piece in it is going to be stickered. They're not going to be tiled. There's no special elements. There's no nothing. When somebody like one of us creating the instructions for that set. So there is no reason for them to be as expensive as they are. And also there's no reason for them to come out with a limited amount. Everybody go rush out, buy them just to resell them for an even higher value. But they released or leaked this Market Village the day after we got the pictures of the medieval castle from the Bricklink designer program.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was the day after or the day before.
No, it was they let the Bricklink designer shine for like 2 seconds, and then they were just like,
yeah. So that was kind of interesting, the timing of that. And real quick, I watched Brick Lover's video the other day. About he did a really great video. He calculated like how much basically each Bricklink designer was making off of their sets. You know, because he basically did the calculation of how much the set cost, how many sold, and then they get 5% of the sales, right?
5%.
Wow. Yeah. And like the biggest one, the castle one or whatever, yeah, they're getting like almost $500,000. Now I'm sure you're getting taxed and all this other stuff, but that's fine. I mean, we can sit here and have a debate about how much, you know, maybe you should make, but 5% is not a whole lot of, you know.
Well, first of all, I have no hatred on them making money whatsoever.
No, I don't think you do. But the more interesting part that I wanted to bring up was, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but Lego made roughly about $30 million off those 5 sets.
On the castle, it was like 11.5 million alone.
Yeah. So that's in a matter of what, 6 to 9 hours roughly.
The castle pretty much sold out immediately.
Yeah, which was the one I know a lot of people were complaining the most about with the price. But so think about this, like, we'll just say even 30 million. All the designers, all their combined totals doesn't even get to 5 million, but we'll just round it off to 5 million. You know, you take maybe 5 or 10 million for production costs and all this and that. So, I mean, yeah, that's insane that, you know, Lego made whatever, 15 million or so, you know, easy off of just that quick amount of, you know, 5 sets and everything.
I think the designer should have been paid more.
Well, here's the thing. I think they should have lowered the price, because I know, and this is not a time I want to get into this kind of debate or whatever, but it blows my mind sometimes. It's like, look, I'm always like saying that I want Lego to make money. I don't even want to make lots of money, man, because clearly it's good for everybody in a way. But I just feel like there's a line eventually that gets stepped over, and a lot of people justify it, and that's great. But I think it's just going to come a point, man, where you can't justify a lot of stuff anymore. I mean, I wanted that train stop and the snack shack. It's 2 sets, but I mean, I would have paid $300 plus tax and shipping and everything for both of them. What's that?
I might be talking completely out of my butt about this, because I am not sure if anyone does it. But the only thing that I see being positive out of the whole Bricklink designer program whatsoever when it comes to these sets, because for one, you can go buy stuff just like this from Rebrickable and get the instructions to build a lot of stuff. Rebrickable has tons of builds out there that people don't realize. But the only thing that I think that would justify some of this is if these people that are designing these sets get a chance to possibly work for Lego.
Yeah, but I don't think that would ever happen because there wouldn't be enough room, right? I mean, there's a lot of different designers for this stuff, and this is Bricklink designer. That's not even like little ideas stuff, or
Yeah.
I mean, I agree that would be an amazing prize, right? And a lot of them seem like they definitely deserve it because some of these builds are just insane, man. You know what I mean? So look, ultimately it's capitalism. If we don't like it, we don't have to buy it. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to complain about it. Something else I thought was kind of interesting, and we kind of briefly talked about this, but the Sorting Hat sound brick. And something I didn't even realize until I started watching some of these earlier pictures and stuff is like you can put this on someone's head and like technically use it. They can
Rich.
But it's like super tiny.
Yeah, I mean it'd probably
From what I
just
saw.
sit on top of my head, because
But here's a really good thing that I heard ACOB talk about.
What's that?
You know what would have been a lot better than putting that stupid sound clip in that ugly hat?
What's up?
Because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
Mm-hmm.
Putting that in the R2D2 that comes with Malak.
Right? That would have been a good call.
But
once again, Harry Potter stuff almost trumps the Star Wars stuff when it comes to unique things.
I mean, Harry Potter has cooler sets than Star Wars.
They do.
I will say though, man, I do feel for Harry Potter fans and the fact that they are very limited. But I mean, tell Rowling to write some more books or something, man. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, pretty interesting. It's been a while since we've seen a sound piece like that, and I don't think anyone's ever been like that as far as many different noises and whatever.
I think that's cool. They should make it like Build-A-Bear. I mean, Lego has an opportunity. Can you imagine like me personalizing my Captain America and giving it to you?
Well, you have to figure out where all those pieces you got left over go first.
I did. I didn't put them on the inside thighs. I figured it out.
And one other thing, I'm not even going to bring pictures of it up right this minute. We're just going to kind of just touch upon it real quick before we move on. The Snow White and the Seven Dwarves cottage. Now, a couple of us were really surprised that they actually went with the Seven Dwarves part, just because of a lot of the controversy going on right now. We just figured it was going to be called Snow White's cottage or whatever. But you know what? Good on them for putting the fantasy names of the creatures in the set. So I will say it looks awesome. I kind of want it to be a day one. We'll see how the money flows, but
I'm definitely picking up the medieval village. I'm really hoping that I can somehow get this Snow White also. I feel like the village is going to go faster than the Snow White. That
probably. But I don't know, man. Like
it's going to be
Disney heads are going to want that Snow White cottage, man, because that's the first time we're getting the dwarves, right?
Yeah.
And I think the second time we're only getting Snow White and Prince Charming, right? Dude, what an egotistical name, dude. Prince Charming. Like, imagine if you weren't charming and that was your name. Like, I don't know.
I love the name Prince Charming. Don't ruin my childhood.
I'm sorry.
Not here today.
I'm very sorry.
They did that in Shrek, where Prince Charming was actually like.
That's right, dude. I miss Shrek, dude. That was, gosh, man. I definitely like the first two hardcore, man. I think the third one I still liked. I
seen a thing yesterday that was like, dude, it was so funny when I read it. It was like something about how did it word it? It was something about how like all these girls like these dad bods is a lie because some Magic Mike got like it was something like $11 or $12 million in revenue, and it was like, yeah, but Shrek got 43.
Yeah. That's funny though, man. But the crazy thing about Shrek real quick is I just thought it was hilarious that Mike Myers, when he decided to do the voice, which he didn't even originally, it was Chris Farley that was originally Shrek. But then he sadly passed away. But Mike Myers doing the Scottish voice for Shrek, dude. That's what always made me laugh about it. It was like such an interesting take on an ogre. See here, I was just going over the chat real quick.
Donkey.
Oh my gosh. And Eddie Murphy, dude, as Donkey. I loved it. I think it was the second one when he turned into a horse and he's like, Look, he's like, I'm majestic, and he's like, I'm trotting in place.
A little narcissistic, a narcissistic donkey. Just love it.
But he was yeah, Donkey's annoying, but you couldn't have a better best friend than Donkey, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's annoying. He's gonna talk to you until you want to pull your hair out of your head. But like, he'd die for you. You know what I mean? Like, he stood by Shrek like the whole time, even if he was scared most of the time or whatever. But anyways, Chef, what's going on? How you doing, brother? Where else we have? Where else we at? Magisto kind of got the shaft on the upgrade.
These are fingers.
Oh, about the set. That's right.
Yeah, they took everything away from him.
Yeah, it was a little bear, wasn't it? Lady Brix says it's difficult to compare artists. Was Elvis or Michael Jackson more or less influential? Not to mention that we are looking back at history in comparison to someone in the middle of her life. Well, and here's another thing too. As time moves on, certain people will the relevance, the bigness. I mean, it'll always be there, but for a lot of us that were there, you know what I mean? Like, it has a lot more relevance compared to, the newer generation coming up. They have Taylor Swift, you know what I mean? So I guess that's their Michael Jackson in their eyes, you know what I mean? But, I mean, music, art, and all that, it's subjective. And, it's just the way it's always been is there is a certain sound or whatever cliche kind of thing that the majority of the population really is attracted to. And, it's just how it is. Oh, goodness.
I'll say with social media, and just like Taylor Swift in general. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you unmuted yourself. I was like, why did that happen?
I'll say with that, social media has made a lot of more celebrities more accessible.
Yeah.
Especially rather than Michael Jackson and Elvis. It was a privilege to see them. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Now I can go on Instagram and see any celebrity I want for for whatever. So that's just that to me.
Yeah, I was actually watching an interview with Lil Wayne, and he was talking about how artists nowadays, more and more of them, aren't even signing with.
You gotta mute again.
I mute.
Oh, I was like, I'm messing my head up now. But yeah, he was saying more and more artists aren't even signing with labels because they can kind of do it on their own. You know what I mean? And just they don't want this big company dipping into their money for whatever reasons when they're. Don't get me wrong. Some of them, I think it's good to have those companies help guide them and whatever, but times are definitely changing, no doubt. Brick Askew, what's going on? Just leaving the OG goat in the past to keep it special. Maybe. And I don't want anybody to think I was hating on it. It's just questions, for sure. I just want a honey bunches of goat battle pack. Sorry if this is a new question, but do you know if it would damage the torso in any way if I swapped out their hands? I think as long as you're careful,
use the brick separator.
Yeah, that might be a better way to do that. I believe the price of the old goat will drop as soon as they don't sell anymore. Just saying. Well, I don't know. I think it's a niche thing anyways. I mean, I dropped some money on some Lego and I just couldn't spend that much for a goat. I was like, yeah, it's not that important to me. But I spent $90 on a Darth Revan. So, who am I to judge anybody for buying a goat? See here.
I was saying, I've got 5 of them. So
Mo says, I think people are not understanding the revenue versus profit. I know that is definitely something that needs to be taken into consideration with a lot of things. Greg Dillon, 117, what's going on? How you doing? Tech says you can part these sets together if you're that bothered by them. Shoot, what set was he talking about?
The Bricklink designer stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Tech. I mean, but if you think about it, you can do that with any Lego set, pretty much, unless it's a very special piece or something like that. So why does anybody buy Lego sets? But you're right. Yeah, convenience. That's really a lot to do with it. And sometimes, yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. A lot of times, it's just convenience. Everything's already there.
I will say that if these Bricklink sets didn't sell for such a high value after the fact, I don't think they would have such a following.
Well, that's something else that Rich and I briefly had touched upon. He brought it up, and it was good subject. Obviously, we don't have time to get into it, but is there a lot of people buying these Bricklink sets that aren't really Lego fans. They're just trying to flip them. You know what I mean?
I think that the ability for bots to be out there to grab this stuff exists.
Well, and the reason I say that is because I know a few people in different genres of stuff that do stuff like that have bots, and I've like told them, like, they're my friends, but I told them, I was like, I don't agree with that, man. I was like, I think you're ripping people off. I was like, you're giving other people, they don't even have a chance. One of my buddies does it with shoes. Like, dude, this man knows shoes like I've never even seen, man. And he buys them, he knows how to get them, he flips them, he sells them, he keeps them, he collects them. Like, but I know another person does it with like pops, cards, you know what I mean, comic books. But yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You know, it's just I hate it when people that really do want the set, that love Lego, want to build it, might not get a chance. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And then of course on the aftermarket, some of those Bricklink sets, man, like they're hundreds and hundreds of dollars more almost immediately after, you know, they're out there. So
that castle is already $1,000 like pre-order on eBay. Yeah, I covered it last week because I saw it on Reddit and I was just like, that is insane. And a lot of people were saying, like, I guess it's against eBay policy unless you're able to get it or ship it out within 40 days.
wow.
But there was at least 10 listings already. I mean, there was one that was like $980.
That answers Rich and I's question immediately. I mean,
That's ridiculous.
I mean, look, and I'm not gonna call him out, but there is even a seller that does custom stuff that we all know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to bash anybody right now, but they resold something that was retired, and I understand the cost of what they sold, but they also sold it for a much higher price than they sold it originally. Not as high as like people were selling it on the aftermarket, but they were still selling it for a much higher price because they wanted to make more money. And it's weird. It's a gray area because I don't want you to not make money or maybe some more money, but it's like, I don't know, man. Again, I think that's where a lot of your pocketbook really plays into things. You know what I mean? You know, if
there was one of the craziest things I ever, like, of course I've witnessed tons of stuff online, but one of the crazy things that I've witnessed personally last year at Brick Fair, and I was there with Fickin' Bricks and Cheap Ass Bricks while this happened. Citizen Brick had an opening thing for the people that were there. You basically got early access to buy all of their stuff before they opened for the public. They released these prisoners. Nothing really special about them at all. Just a normal prisoner. I think all the numbers were different or something. I don't know. But it was just a normal like prisoner. They were $25 a piece and they sold out almost immediately. 2 hours later, they were on eBay for $500 and people were buying them.
No, I hate that.
Yeah,
that is what I don't like. I mean, to me, that stuff is insane. And it's not Citizen Brick that's doing it. I mean, they're not making a profit off of it.
You know, and again, you know, and this is a topic maybe we'll bring up on another Good Morning Brick World, because I kind of want to talk about this, if not even on here, a different stream or something like that. But I want to talk about scalping and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I feel it's definitely morally wrong, but I don't know where the line would be drawn with stuff. You know what I mean? Now, theft is different. But if you come in, you know, you come into some tickets or Lego at a cheaper price and you want to roll the dice and see if you can sell it for whatever amount of money you can sell it for, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know where the morally line is in some of that stuff, but because it also goes to what you were just talking about. Now, something that's different that I want to talk about as well is these minifigs that are being stolen out of these factories.
Well, that's I
know it's a different subject, but I mean, I also want to kind of get into that as well, because I want to get into it a little more specifically because I'm curious about Lego side of it. You know what I mean? And I want to get everybody's opinions on that kind of stuff and like why they think either Lego does or does not know, or why not they're letting stuff get away. You know what I mean? But anyways, another time. All right. we are reaching, or we're actually right into the second hour now. Before we get into the topic, I want to say hello to Stud Sidious. Sue, what's up, man? Speaking of Shrek earlier, I wish Donkey was Eddie Murphy Raw style. Dude, that's not gonna work, man. You can't have Donkey doing that. Old 80s Eddie was the best before he sold out to Disney. I don't know about the selling out part, man. I mean, there's a lot of comedians. I don't want to say they sold out. Look, maybe, I don't know, but I feel like some of them just calmed down.
I mean, look, Ice Cube went from being a gangster to doing family movies. There's a point in your life where you just got to stop.
And I think that's like
grow up.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing in real life as well. A lot of us do a lot of stuff in our younger years and all that, and then once you start getting older, you're like, even if you still want to do some of that stuff, you're like, no, I gotta be responsible and do this stuff now, or maybe I got kids, or maybe I got different bills, or whatever the case may be.
Priorities change.
Yeah, priorities change. And I know a lot of people, and I watched an interview with Ice Cube about this, because a lot of people, you started getting a lot of crap about selling out, and being a goody instead of the gangster life and stuff. And and he basically said the same thing I was just saying, like, eventually, man, you got a family to feed, you got a family to take care of. I need work. He's like, I'm not going to do anything that compromises my integrity. You know what I mean? But he's like, dude, they're good family fun movies, man. He's like, and not only that, there's some hardcore people, mean people in life, but most tough people I've known, they're good big teddy bears most of the time, man. You know what I mean? They just look intimidating, or they're scary sounding, or whatever. You know what I mean? But and that's how a lot of people that generally might look scary, or whatever. But yeah, very interesting about the selling out part. But I agree. I liked 80s Eddie better, but that's because Beverly Hills Cop and all those great movies that he was in as well.
I just think it's maturation. When you go to a job, you have a certain title, and then you get promoted, you grow. You're not the same as when you come in. I think we forget this is their job. So now Ice Cube is kind of, behind the scenes and directing, producing.
Yeah. He's not in poverty anymore. I mean, he's got money. He's not, he's not he was what the society made him. And then he got an opportunity to make something better of himself. So he did.
And that, in the interview that I saw, that was one of the most interesting things that, that I'm always fascinated, man, when people can go above and beyond their hurdles. You know what I mean? Because man, when I was a teenager and I was listening to like NWA and stuff, I would have never thought like Ice Cube or them, would have taken the route that they did. You know what I mean? Not because they couldn't, just because I've always just assumed that they wouldn't. But yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, as you get older, man, and your perceptions change about stuff, and I think everybody in life, man, they definitely see things a little differently as they get older. I think it's just natural. Your perception on life changes.
NWA, this is on from BET.com. I just seen this a couple days ago. NWA is set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2024 Grammys.
Wow.
So I'm not. The Grammys have passed now, so I know they have it, but
yeah.
So NWA has a Grammy.
That's pretty wild.
Well, they have several Grammys, right?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I was listening when I was a teenager, man. I know they had Grammys, though. I thought maybe they got inducted, maybe into like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something. I don't know, but I might be thinking about somebody else. Fabu Brick, what's going on? Scalpers are out there, or scalpers are out here ruining every single collecting hobby. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I just don't know what a solid opinion would be on anything about that yet. People complaining about scalping are usually those who realize they screwed up and missed maybe seeing an opportunity. I don't know what that last part means. I don't know. Again, very interesting subject. I think it's a very gray area with a lot of different stuff. Naked Bricks, what's going on? You guys talk about Bricklink Mountain Fortress selling out within 3 hours. We did. We put under 10 full hats and talked about a couple other things that revolved around it as well. I'd be interested in seeing a discussion of the difference between reselling and scalping. It'll happen. If it's not on Good Morning Brick World, I'll put it on a Hive stream or something like that. I just think it's a really good thing to talk about for all of our informations and understanding. Ivan says, still building the Lego UCS Millennium Falcon, and I am now on bag number 10. God, If people become more reflective and controlled over time, what happened? What happened to Hive? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Who knows? People grow up. All right, let's do some hashtags and celebrations. So we'll do celebrations first. Here we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't when I was editing it. I was
way
like,
too quiet there for a minute.
I was editing it, and then I finished editing, like or exporting or whatever, and then like I listened to it again, and I was like, why did the music stop right there? So I was like, I don't know, man, but I ain't got time to change it. I think we'll do Drew's segment next week since we're a little short on time. That way he can be here when we do it. He's got, I think, one last Viking segment that he wanted to do for us. And if we have more time, we'll show before the show's over with. But let's go ahead. We'll do hashtag minifigure mug Monday. Wonderful mugs. I tell you what, it's one of my favorite hashtags. I love that Disney Beauty and the Beast teapot one, man. That was really cool. Gosh, I love the comments, man. You guys are so great. So yeah, Whiskey says NWA inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2016. Rock on. You know, because I'll tell you, man, NWA, man, they definitely rocked. And I'm not rocking the like traditional type of sense or whatever, but just in the metaphorical sense, like, yeah, they definitely rocked. Yeah, I see you guys talking about the Bricklink stuff as well. Yeah, crazy stuff.
I also looked up what rappers had Grammys, and Pharrell has 13, Andre 3000 has 9, Lauryn Hill has 8, and Dr. Dre has 7. And that's it.
I'm not surprised about Lauryn Hill. But you said Andre 3000?
Has 9.
Not Outkast, just Andre?
Andre 3000, not Outkast. And then Lauryn Hill has 8, and then Dr. Dre has 7. Everybody was in a group at one point.
Interesting.
All of these artists were in a group at one point.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Okay, so let's get into the topic at hand. Black History Month. Now I want to say something that, you know, I see a lot of people do say this, but I don't care. Yes, you celebrate Black History every month. That's kind of should be kind of unspoken, you know what I mean? But it's nice to have a month, you know, you could dedicate specifically and highlight, you know, things specifically, and that's what we're doing now. Like I said, this part 1 is more subject matter. The next week will be more on like creators and maybe like specific builds and stuff like that. There's definitely some very interesting creators and they have incredible builds I want to highlight. But like I said, this is subject matter. One thing we're going to talk about is the flesh tone aspect on minifigs. And then, you know, I want to get into like a little more in real life diversity inclusion stuff that they do as far as the company working for them, and then just what they do as far as projection and sets and stuff like that. All right, now before we talk about the flesh tone thing, I do want to see what we're looking at on the poll, because I do have a poll up there. It says, do you think flesh tone should be in more than just friends and IP sets? That doesn't mean eliminate them. It doesn't mean anything like that. Just use. That's why I wanted to phrase this question very specifically. Just, do you think that flesh tone should be in more than just friends and IP sets? Because unless I'm wrong, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, the only flesh tone skin sets you're getting is either friends, which are mini dolls, or IP sets, which are IP sets. So I don't think there's any other way to get them. Now we got 68 votes. Thank you everybody for those votes. 54% say yes, we should get flesh tones in more than just friends and IP sets. 46%, oh, it just changed. 55% said yes, 45% said no. I didn't know how crazy this topic was going to be, because this isn't the first time it's been talked about. It's not the first time it's been brought up. Many people in the community have talked about this at great lengths even. And the one thing I've noticed about the community when it comes to this subject is some people are very passionate about it not changing. And look, that's fine. I don't want anybody to feel shamed or anything. Lego's thing about the yellow skin tone is they say that, and you guys, I'm paraphrasing, you know, but they say it represents everybody in one color. Okay. I don't hate that. All right. And I understand the good intention behind it. And I'm not even saying my opinion on this, and this is just my opinion. I'm not speaking for the panel or anybody else in the community. I understand the good intentions. The problem is, in a general sense, it doesn't really look like people of color. You know, it doesn't really look like me either necessarily, or Rich, but it definitely doesn't look like on the other end of the color spectrum. So, and the other thing that I don't understand, and this isn't a hateful comment, I don't want anybody to take this wrong way, I just don't understand. So when the Jazz Club came out, one of the designers was talking about that the minifig was a black minifig. You know, I would like to not just think because of just the jazz aspect, but you know, obviously it's with the Jazz Club. But he said that even though whatever the skin tone yellow, the hair piece is what was supposed to be able to distinguish that that's a black minifig compared to like a white minifig. Which my whole thing is, okay, maybe I don't even feel like I'm necessarily the best person to speak upon that. But if you're going to do the hair, why not do the skin too? You know what I mean? Because if you're going to use the whole thing about it representing everybody, then why are you making the hair trying to make somebody specific on the race aspect? Okay. And just the other fact that it's only friends and nice IP sets. So you either got to buy like a licensed set for a minifig. Like, you know, we're always talking about you shouldn't buy sets just for the minifig, but if you want to get, a flesh tone, especially to look like you, I mean, yes, you can maybe go on Bricklink or Lego.com, you know what I mean? But, or you got to buy friend sets, and that's a mini doll. So I'm curious about what the chat has to say about a lot of stuff. We looked at the poll, but very clearly I want to know what our guests and obviously our other co-hosts think about this stuff as well. Brick Babe, let's start with you, and then we'll work down to CC and then work over to Mo.
Okay, first of all, I think that you should always have options. So I'm not against yellow. I don't think yellow should go away. I think I feel the same way, and this is another rabbit hole, but I feel the same way about the flesh tones as I do with sexuality. It's a child's toy, and we shouldn't introduce too much into that at such a young age. Children don't see the world as we do, so they may not see themselves as like, oh, it's just a yellow person. It's they imagine they put it's not like, oh, this is a negative connotation, I'm being left out and I can't identify with the little yellow man. Has said no child ever, just give me the set. So on the flip side though, for us adults who are in this hobby, who are bringing these adult issues into this hobby, I think we should be able to have flesh tones that represent us. But this is, like I said, this is an adult thing. So now you have the collector, you have the kids who play with Lego, and then you have us, the collectors. You have two different markets here, two different segments. So, but just so you know, there are 5 categories of flesh tones. You have yellow, you have light nougat, medium nougat, and then you have the reddish brown. So you have those 5. Out of those 5, then you have 10 categories of emotions on each fig. So you can get happy, angry, sad, annoyed, evil, scared, sleepy, smirk, surprised, and neutral. Point is, there are so many options. If you want to be yellow, be yellow. But Lego, I feel, has given the option for you to be something else. Now, like I've said, you may have to get that in an IP, or you may have to get that. The CMFs are yellow too. I just think you're able to purchase it. However, if you want something different than yellow, then you're going to pay a little bit more for it. But I think similar to the friend sets are similar to Barbie sets. Everybody is kind of represented. There's this nice flow. There are so many colors, and I think it's great. But I don't say yellow should go. I think yellow should stay. I think everybody should be given the option to be neutral or have flesh tones. I know Rich does all flesh tones in his army. So I can imagine like the price tag on that. But it doesn't take away from a yellow army. So I think we should keep options. That's my opinion.
And real quick before we go to CC, I just wanted to highlight again. It's way up in the chat, but I can't remember, was it Whiskey that said it, but somebody mentioned about like we should have more flesh tone and then just keep the yellow and like classic,
Well,
I agree.
I'm gonna say the same. Kind of agree with what Brick Babe said, but go into it a little further. No matter what anybody says, I don't. There's a lot of people that will hate. Lego gives you the option to pick whatever you want to pick. If you think you don't exist, you're out there. You might just not want to spend the money for it. On the other side of that, I think that they just need to release more flesh tones in a different way.
Agreed. Because, and I want everybody to understand, I know it might, and I know we're promised we're going to get to CCMO too, but I don't want anybody to think we're complaining, bashing, you know what I mean? Like Lego does amazing things when it comes to inclusion and diversity. When they do make the flesh tone stuff, and even like I was talking about the Jazz Club. I mean, even though you had the yellow minifig, but they're acknowledging at least like the hair, and so they're doing good stuff. We're just trying to have a conversation about maybe why this or how this, or should it be easier to get this? So CC, what do you think?
Yeah, so my opinion is very similar to Moto's. What he said in the chat is the black box 18 plus sets should have more representation, which makes sense, right? Like if they're trying to target the adult market and have us pay exorbitant amounts of money, then give us what we're asking for. But also there's the thing of like, why does the girl theme of Friends have more representation on flesh tones than the boy theme of City? Like, and I was at first thinking like, okay, maybe that's because Friends has a set cast of characters, but so does City.
Yeah, it does.
And right. So I don't know if like maybe City needs to take a trip to a neighboring town, and then everyone there is like varying colors, and then we keep, standard City, because like Brick Babe was saying, like that is what's like more so the draw for children. Like they see whatever.
Children like color, bright colors.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned it's City, right? But it's not just City. Ninjago, Monkey Kid, Speed Champions, CMFs, unless it's like a CMF IP. Like I said, as far as I know, Friends IPs. Everything else is yellow.
Well, here's the thing that I didn't want to bring up on the meeting because I wanted to like, I guess, blindside y'all with this. But
Gee, thanks, Rich.
You know that like I'm flesh tone all the way. I think that yellow holds a big part in Lego's history. I don't think that we should necessarily ever get rid of yellow.
Agreed.
But here's the big thing. If they were to come out with a City set, and the City set be flesh tones, and it's a cops and robbers set, and the cop is white and the robber's black, people are going to have an issue with that.
But you know what? They've already done that because they already did, not with black and white, but they made a cops and robbers set not too long ago, and they made the robber Italian and gave him a completely generic Italian name. And even I was upset with even the cop because they spelled something wrong, man. I don't know if it's because it was across the pond or what. So they didn't do it with the skin color, but they definitely made a very, I said generic, but what would be more stereotyping, and look, that stuff doesn't really bother me. I'm not thin-skinned about things, man. I think that stereotypes are there for general reasons. It shouldn't be exact, but some stuff is based on some types of loose, truths about things. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean you should use it as a weapon or anything like that.
No, but I mean, it goes back to just what to like go on top of what I was saying. It's what Brick Babe said, that it's for a kid. If a kid gets that, a kid's not going to care what color those minifigures are. A kid's not going to care whatsoever. They're going to care that they have a cop that they can, if they want to be a cop, they can be the cop to arrest the robber. If they want to be a robber, they can evade the cops. That's all they care about. It's when the adults put their 2 cents in it that they try to make it where it matters.
So I agree with you on that. I do. I think that I do agree with that. But what if you had black and white cops and black and white robbers?
That was my immediate thought. Yeah.
That's what they would have to do.
Well, and this is because this was my counterpoint to somebody a while back when I was talking about this. They argued that like, well, how would you put this evenly, the different colors evenly amongst the sets and whatever? And I'm like, fair enough, man, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. I understand it's going to get weird if there's only 3 minifigures in a set and maybe you got 2 black, 1 white, or maybe somebody might feel like there's more of one or the other, but that's one set. But dude, they make hundreds and hundreds of sets, man.
But once again, it's not something that a kid is going to give a crap about.
I respectfully disagree because working with kids for years and just things of that nature and being a kid, I wanted to see representation. I think this is kind of I agree with Cece's point. I think women necessarily seek more for diversity more than men because women just kind of think more about that stuff. And I think kids nowadays are so much more socially conscious than we think. And the kids I work with and just in general I've seen, they're thinking like, why does this look like this? Why does this look like that? And I think with kids, what we've seen is in 2020, we had a big political rise, just everything became political. I think the kids that were brought up in that are now seeing like they're thinking differently. Like, why is this like this? Why is it like that? I want diversity. I want to look like this, and I want to look like that.
Well, and not only that, if that's the case, about like, well, you kids don't really think about that, then why are you making minifigs with the hearing aid? Why are you making minifigs that don't have a limb? Why are you making minifigs in wheelchairs? You're doing that so kids can see themselves and being represented in a set. And I would only assume that a black kid would also appreciate seeing a black minifig. That's, you know, maybe not that they don't have to buy a Star Wars set for or buy a mini doll for.
I think, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that's where it gets tricky. I wish somehow, and this is me, you know, in a perfect utopia, I wish we could separate color from race and ethnicity. So,
because we're all one human race. I mean,
exactly. But we can't say that, okay, this is the black fig, or this is the black fig, and this is the Hispanic fig right here. Here's my fig. So my fig can be a Pacific Islander, it can be Italian, it can be so many options. So that's one thing that I want to get away from. It's like, just because this is reddish brown doesn't mean this guy is a black American. Could be Dominican,
right?
Can be Asian. I mean, it's like, let's stop attaching color to sounds stupid, to race, but you know, it's like a lot of people are racially ambiguous. I am. If people, I get asked, what are you? What are you? What are you? I'm black. The question comes up. But it's just, all of us as Americans, we're a big melting pot.
Yes.
And you can't say, oh, the reddish brown is for all the blacks. There you have it. You know,
right.
You just can't do that. Or, I don't know.
I just, is it more of an American thing?
Oh, go ahead.
Like, I was gonna say, like, is that more of an American thing as well? That we're more, I guess, racially conscious, and we see like everyone who's like dark. I mean, because like when I hang out with my husband in like Spanish places, a lot of people ask me if I'm from the coast of Colombia, where he's from. Like that's just their first thought, because that's their perspective, that's their world.
Right.
And I think like you were saying, Brick Babe, the reddish brown, like I guess for Americans, we all see that like that's a black American.
Right.
So doesn't represent me.
But well, that's why I was saying too, it's not, you know, the flesh tone thing, you know, we're talking about a big part of it because it's Black History Month, that's what we're talking about. But you know, it's also for anybody. Like nobody's yellow, you know, like a minifig, you know, we're all different shades of different colors, you know what I mean? And like I said, they're getting better. Like that Harry Potter set, the trunk, you know, they had like several different flesh tones in that set, so you can get a whole bunch at once at least, you know. I'm sorry, Lenny, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, it was like we did discuss in the meeting, and I was saying when I go out the country, to agree with what Cece said, no one is, are you black, are you white, are you this? It's, oh, are you Dominican? It's nationality, as opposed to, you know, the color of your skin.
Yeah,
it's what nationality are you? When you're here in this bubble, you know, us Americans can be arrogant, and this is a bubble, and this is the center of the world for us. I mean, we're Americans, that's how we feel. But when you go outside, you know, it's like, what nationality are you?
That's because America is a dumb country. We really are.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're not the brightest.
Captain America disagrees with you, Rich. And he's a flesh tone too.
No, I get what Rich is saying. I mean, look, Rich is just talking numbers. You know what I mean? Facts. We're not number one in education. We're not number one in health. We're not number one in a lot of things, man. In healthcare, all that stuff. It doesn't mean
consumerism.
Look, I love America. I'll be one of the first people to defend this country if somebody ever came over here and tried to take it over or whatever. But I'm also not dumb. I know the reality of our country, and we have a lot of issues that we need to work out with a lot of different things. Real quick, this is a great conversation. I'm loving all the stuff you guys are bringing here. Let me just check the chat, see how you guys are doing. Classic set remakes, yellow, everything else flesh tone, yellow and classic. Yeah, you guys definitely feeling that, right? Rusty, what's going on? Hello. You left out medium brown. Oh, I thought she said medium. Maybe I missed it.
No, I did not. There is a new medium brown.
Right. Shy, what's up? Shy is a good person that would have some good opinions on this. Like Bearded Brix. Shy also made an army, his Black Falcon army, I believe, right? Flesh tone as well. And it says Lego wouldn't have ever released the variety if we, the community, didn't bring it light to over the past few years. For a while, color wasn't readily available, especially positive emotions. Yeah, and I feel like definitely us as a community and stuff are, I don't know, forcing is the right word, but definitely pushing their hand a little bit on doing other stuff like that. And we're getting ready to move away from the flesh tone topic. But I just wanted to say the one thing that Lego seems to do a lot is they kind of paint themselves in the corners. And even though I'm glad they did it, I think that when they made Lando, you know,
Billy D.
I think that was when they started painting themselves in a corner if they wanted to keep the yellow stuff going on. Now I know why they didn't, but you can't, you know, it's weird. It's weird, right? Because they're like, oh, yellow represents everybody. Let's make Lando black. What?
The one thing that no one
Ouch.
the one thing that no one has said yet is the fact that you can only get really funny facial expressions on yellow minifigs.
That's another thing too. I mean, they definitely have a variety of facial expressions on the flesh tone stuff,
Sean
but
mentioned that.
some of the really exaggerated ones that you'd want to see maybe in different facial expressions. Like I know, like when I do the stop motions or anything like that, man, you know, I like to try and have different facial expressions for flesh tones. And yeah, you're right, Rich.
Sean mentioned that. He mentioned, so, you know, reddish. So the angry faces. Most of the reddish brown guys have these angry faces, especially Finn, just angry, angry, angry. So there has been, like everyone I'm picking up, but this looks like everyone is kind of angry. You can't see. But I think they've gotten better.
Yeah.
But Sean didn't mention that.
Yeah. That's what he's saying, but that is part of the issue. IPs limit the choices of color heads based on characters from an outside source material. That is right. That is right. For instance, let me give you just a really random example. I've wanted to make a sig fig for Cy O'Connor for a long time, right? I mean, I know there's some of them out there, but the only flesh tone face I can find with glasses is Harry Potter. And Cy doesn't have hair. So that lightning bolt's going to be clear on his forehead. So I've been looking, you know what I mean, for this flesh tone face with glasses, man. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to buy one off one of the custom places. But yeah, Nick Brix says at least with Lego Star Wars, the figs represent the movie characters, so it's on Disney, not Lego. No, that's for Disney. All right, that's for Disney, but Lego can, you know, like I said, even if we didn't change the city, I mean, maybe Speed Champions or maybe some other type of thing or whatever, or even just make
pack.
Yeah, or people pack. Like they've had those were the city people packs, but just make a normal people pack.
Yeah, they've had Marvel packs. Yeah, they've had all kinds of packs. And that's cool. I like that.
I wouldn't want to know how much they would want to charge if they did like build a minifigure army of flesh tones. Like if they had a battle pack of flesh tone people, I would not want to know what that would cost.
But it's good you have the option. I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
yeah, I think what we're taking away from this is there are pros for yellow and there are pros for flesh tone. We can find cons all day for everything, but the yellow has pros, especially keeping it classic. I agree with everybody here. I think everybody agrees. If we keep the classics, the city, keep it that classic yellow, and then give options outside of that. So when I go in a Lego store, I can get flesh tones or I can get yellow. It depends on what I want.
Right. So alternate candidate says this is why yellow is the only way. LOL. Everyone represented without race. The skin tones opens a can of worms. In my opinion, creates more issues than fixes. Understand the good intentions though, and this is something that I really want to acknowledge also because I think some people get stuff taken the wrong way. So when I read that from alternate candidate, I didn't read anything hateful or bad about that. You know what I mean? If anything, from alternate candidate's perspective, you know what I mean? I understand. You know what I mean? Because afraid it might create complications, problems. And this isn't exactly the easiest, most comfortable thing to even talk about, even in the Lego world, you know, because maybe in other countries, they don't quite understand the full spectrum of, well, because all of us are Americans. So they might not understand the full spectrum of things that we're discussing and talking about, the history of our country, you know, it's not even just in slavery, but even up to like just decades ago. And even today, like, I feel like we're in a much better, good place, but we still have things to work on, man. We still have things, there's always room for improvement. And, but there's a lot of history with our country and race. Doesn't have to be all bad, obviously, but so when I read alternate candidates comment, I don't think it's coming from a bad place. It just, you know, obviously things can be complex. So yeah, I don't agree alternate candidate, but I do understand where you're coming from. All right, well, let me finish a couple of these comments. And ladies, if there's anything else you guys want to add to this conversation, please, I would love to hear it. And then
I have a question. I wonder if people think in hindsight, should Lego have even done Lando? Would you have preferred Lego to have stayed all yellow, or do you appreciate, as who said, I think Moto said, the 18 and plus, that Moto and CC, or given options as an adult to be a different complexion?
it just hit me why they did with Lando what they did. It like just hit me, man, like a ton of bricks. Okay, a yellow minifig represents everybody. There's no person tied to a specific yellow minifig. But once you slap a name on it, and it's based off a real character, a real person, then it's. But I don't know. That's weird. No, see, that's not right either. Because if that was the case, then why didn't they make the other, like Luke and Han and all them, like peach colored?
Yeah,
right?
because that's what Cece said about Friends. She's like, if
Yes.
it's character based, I understand.
I don't know. I think honestly, I think that Lego, I think they had good intentions. I think just like what alternate candidate said, I think that their intentions were good. They're like, well, yes, and clearly they're very inclusive and diverse. But I think they just weren't thinking about future repercussions. I don't think they were thinking about the future in general. I think they just like painted themselves in the corner. Just like I know some people might not agree with me on this, but I think the Notre Dame thing is kind of a bad idea as well. I get the monumental architecture about it, but it's still a religious building. Now you're gonna have Jews, you will have Muslims, you'll have Hindus, you'll have everybody in, saying like why not this monument building? And I get the Taj Mahal, but the Taj Mahal is a little bit different. There's a gray area in that. It's not just strictly like a religious building. I think there is more to it than that, from what I remember researching about it. But I don't think it's a bad thing, and I don't care. I just wonder if it's going to be another one of these things where they kind of painted themselves in a corner, and now they're going to have to like jump around hurdles and say this or that, or because it's not the first time they've done it.
But Hive, I think that's the point that we're trying to make. It's good to have options. Okay, great. Now we'll get a mosque next. It's okay to have options. I think you can have your base yellow and give us options.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it doesn't make sense to why they can't make religious sets. They just need to include every religion. It's the same exact thing with race. If you're going to include one, you got to include them all. But there's no reason why they shouldn't.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's like it's what happens when you start dabbing into real life. It's not Star Wars. It's not whatever. Huh? What's that, CC?
Well, I was gonna say like it's maybe because like the Notre Dame is a architectural marvel. It's historic. It's art and whatnot. But I was thinking like on the other hand, with architecture sets, we've had the White House. I think we've had it twice, but we haven't had like the Kremlin. Which is also like an architectural marvel in for art history.
Yeah, and we're not talking about context. We're just talking about architectural. Right. No, you're right. It can be a slippery slope, no doubt about it. And I think that's why they've stayed very clear of like war stuff, man. I know they keep skirting around a lot of different areas in it. But I think that's why they're like, that's like their last line or whatever they won't cross. I don't know. Good stuff though. Good stuff. The Scientology set is going to be mad crazy. dude, that Scientology building, that's a very crazy looking building too, man, as far as architecture goes. I won't talk about Scientology in general, but I'll just say the building's cool. Sai says, I'm going to say again, the Osprey is an engineering marvel. Good call, man.
But Brickmania did it better.
Fabulous says a mosque architecture set would be awesome. Tons of beautiful religious buildings. There is, man. There is, dude. Churches in general, whether it's a mosque or a synagogue or a church or whatever you want to call it, man. Yeah, man, beautiful stuff, dude.
Especially the older ones. The older they are.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead, and I want to highlight a couple things real quick. By the way, we are at 73 votes for our flesh tone poll, and 55% of you still say yes, and 45% say no. So let me go ahead and share the screen, and we will talk about some more diversity in Lego. So the first thing I want to show is an article that was done about Friends. So, God dang ads. Lego dives into kids' complex emotions and identities with new Friends toys digital content. Now, something that Friends does better than anything I've seen in Lego is representation. Whether it is race, whether it's disabilities, even what do they say here? Because there was also like mental type stuff as well. Of course, no thanks. I'm good for now. Characters with limb differences, or to Friends navigating ADHD with anxiety. The products are a departure from the usual simplicity of children's toys. The first set of products launched along with 44-minute special episodes of the YouTube series to be followed by more episode sets later in the year. Now, I know this isn't new. This came out a while back, but I just really wanted to highlight this because, again, look, and something that you all brought up that I didn't even think about, man, was the girl part of it. Why is it that the girl line, and I say girl line, but I say that in a general sense. I mean, clearly boys, I buy tons of Friend sets, boys can enjoy them too. But why in the girls line, is representation so much more prevalent? You know what I mean? But the thing that they've done so well, like I said, is not just the race, but also just all other aspects of diversity as well. And in here it says the two things that are true when it comes to kids' mental health. Today's kids are experiencing high levels of stress, and today's kids understand the importance of opening up to someone about it. So see, when I was growing up, and I'm sure probably Rich or Lene or whoever is at least closer to my age group, maybe there wasn't a lot of that type of stuff when we were growing up. There was therapy or counseling or stuff like that, but mental health wasn't as known about or studied or understood like it is today.
It was suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, that was basically, and look, for men and women,
the guys had it worse.
Guys definitely had it worse, but women as well. You might have not been out there digging ditches or whatever, but like you definitely, even stay-at-home moms and stuff, man, like high level anxiety. You're dealing with kids, you're making sure things are right, whatever the case may be. But kids today, and I think because of social media, they're open to so many different things, and I'm sure it plays a lot into anxiety about stuff. I don't think the media and social media helps a lot. I think it does create a lot of anxiety with kids. Especially from what I've read with young girls, and their perception of how they look and beauty and all this other stuff that they have to deal with, you know what I mean, and try and navigate through. And I feel bad for a lot of kids nowadays. So that being said, it's nice that Friends at least tries to reach out to a lot of these younger kids that might have these issues and say, hey, other people have them too. We see you, et cetera, et cetera. Do you guys have anything like want to say about Friends?
I wish they would include a lot of that stuff in non-Friend sets. I mean, I would like the ability to throw some of that stuff in the army just for the hell of it. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna include everybody. I should include everybody, right?
Agreed. You look at. And look, I make fun of mini dolls. I've been making fun of mini dolls for years now, man. You know what I mean? Like I give them all away. I keep the hair, but I give all the mini dolls away. But look, you look at this group of characters, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, you're like, why can't that be with like a lot of the other themes? You know what I mean? And yes, I know with the city themes, they're definitely, they've got like, whether it's a hearing aid or the prosthetics or, et cetera, et cetera. And that's something I quite didn't understand is like, again, you're representing, people with disabilities and stuff like that, but, maybe not race. But like I said, I understand where people come from about stuff. So yeah, that's Friends. So I wanted to move on to something a little more in real life. And and that is diverse and inclusive workplace. So one thing I was curious about when we were having our meeting and when we started talking about this was, okay, we know a lot of stuff on the outside of Lego when it comes to the products, the sets, the toys, whatever, the minifigs. I was kind of curious what it was like inside of Lego. And not talking about the Lego store. I mean, we all see diversity at the Lego store. That's not really what I meant. I meant more on a corporate level. And they've got a really good percentage rate. I won't lie, man. Now, something kind of funny that we talked about in the meeting, or I don't know, I think I touched upon it or whatever, was I don't expect Billund to have a lot of different maybe diversity because it's in the Europe, you know what I mean? So I don't know what the percentage rate is, you know what I mean? It's not like here in America where it's kind of a melting pot, or in a certain demographic of area where there's a bigger, different race of people. But apparently they do well when it comes to inclusion in real life. And I don't think it's on this because this is actually Lego. I had another article pulled up, but I think I closed it out and I can't find it. But they talked
like 8%.
Yes.
African Americans.
Yes. So that's what I was trying to find was the percentage rate that they had. And
I screenshotted it. Let me find it.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just with you know, African Americans. It was just with women, you know, people with disabilities, you know, all kinds of different stuff. And yeah, I mean, Lego was doing good, man, as far as that goes. I mean, I don't know if they could keep doing better, you know what I mean? But definitely doing good.
Is this like the total corporate Lego statistics, or is it just billing? Because we also have the office. What is it up in
Connecticut?
Yes, Connecticut.
They're moving to Massachusetts, I believe. And I didn't mean just even in that type of corporate level, but even on the corporate level of the factories and stuff. I'm not talking about just the person just working the line, but just people that are in charge of running these factories, whether it be the marketing, the production cost, whatever the case may be. And yeah, I don't have that particular article. I just must have lost it, but their percentage rate for diversity and inclusion and all that is extremely high. Now, I don't know if they have the same type of hiring process as other groups, maybe like similar like entertainment and stuff, where they're saying there has to be a certain percentage of this person or these people or this race or whatever the case may be included. I think sometimes that can be a little slippery, depending on, I guess, where you're at. And I say that only because of just the percentage of population. You know, I've talked about this before. So, you know, like Black people in America make up, I don't have the exact numbers, but I want to say roughly between 14 and 17% of the population. So clearly in just different areas, I mean, if you only make up that percentage of the population, you can't make 90% of different areas all the time and everywhere. It's just impossible. So I understand some of these things can be difficult, but to not put something forth in good manner is disingenuous to me. But Lego definitely don't mess around. You know,
I have it, Hive. I'm sorry.
Oh, you got it.
So the racial distribution at Lego, white 58.8%, Hispanic and Latino 18.8%, Asian 8.8%, and Black or African American 8.8%.
Okay. So, and then that's for across the board, right?
Yep, that's across the board. So, if you're looking at the 58, that means 42%, almost half. It's almost half.
Yeah.
Is minority.
Yeah. I mean, and you got to think too, man, that's including across the pond. You know what I mean? So that's going to weigh heavily into that, man. You know what I mean? So they definitely must have a good amount if one of the places, like I said, is in Europe. You know what I mean? So this, I just saw this member of Business Disability Forum, business mode to help understand how best to support colleagues. I'm kind of curious. Let's look at this. We're a leading business membership and organization disability inclusion. We work in partnership with business, government, and disabled people to remove barriers to inclusion. Our 550 plus members employ over 20% of the UK workforce and an estimated 8 million people worldwide. Wow. Very interesting. See, it is we're working together with business, disability forum, and other companies that we can help create a better work environment for all people with disabilities. So yeah, like I said, man, like I said, Lego's doing a good job with all this stuff. No doubt. So I mean, really, when it comes to stuff in real life, corporate levels, I mean, like I said, when it comes to even smaller positions in like the Lego stores and all that, I mean, clearly we see quite a diverse people working in there. But I gotta say, like I said, Lego's doing a really good job. It's not that they couldn't do better, but I'm really curious, with what you three think about just overall in general, like.
I have a feeling now. Everything's been positive, maybe up until now. Lego is very vocal when it comes to June, Pride Month. We have a Pride set. Women's History Month, we have a Women's History set. There has never been a set that celebrates Black history or Black buildings. But many other cultures have their own set. Like you said, do it for one, you got to do it for the others.
No. I didn't even think about that. Because, yeah, you're right. I mean, and
that NBA set doesn't count.
I mean, you know what? I don't know why I didn't really do it, but I guess I was thinking about maybe. Is there anything on Lego's website or anything?
No. And Pride Month is controversial. Women's Month is controversial. So it's not like, oh, we don't touch that because it's controversial. You do.
Just out of curiosity, because I don't know, what was the woman's set?
It was the airplane. Who was
it? Plus they had
and
the
then it was
ladies
the
of
other one with the
NASA.
monkeys. With the
that was Jane Goodall.
Yep.
And like I said, then had the ladies of NASA.
And there was one that was a builder who was from Lego. There was a special set
and we've definitely had some Pride sets.
I didn't even think about the women's sets, is why I asked that. I had no idea that. I mean, I guess I just never put two and two together. I mean, I knew about the NASA set, but I didn't even think about it.
Tech said the women's football team as well. And look, again, nobody here is saying like they shouldn't make these sets. You know what I mean? That's not just. Brick brought up a really good point, that, and look, this isn't even, I'll speak for all of us right now. This isn't a petty point. I'm really trying to go through my memory right now and say, like, has there ever been like a Black set?
The NBA
doesn't have to be just Black history. Just.
Oh, no.
Well, I got a question for you. Just to have more of a positive outcome. If they were to make a set, what would you want?
I don't even know.
Cece had a good point. Cece said the Jazz Quartet is one that does celebrate Black history and Black figures. So I stand corrected there.
But I don't necessarily think of that. And this might be like, I mean, like I know whatever, but I don't necessarily think of that as a Black history set versus as much as I do as like New Orleans style.
Or you can't deny the Black element to it, but it's it's a jazz set. You know what I mean? It's more to jazz. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I'd have to relook at the set again and all that. But I feel like that should have done something else or something more specific. Or
I think with specifically Black culture, it's so broad because with certain cultures you just have that one. I think the more broader one to Black culture would be Asian culture, and they do that very well. With Black culture, you have Black Southern culture, Black Northern culture, Black West Coast culture. You have more African culture. You have West African, South African, East African. It's so broad, it's hard to touch upon one subject. So I think more so what you're missing is the culture aspect of someone who specifically knows it, because when you think of Black culture in America, you specifically think more of Southern Black culture, which you have your soul food, your music, things of that nature. Yeah. But it's so broad. Like New Orleans isn't the only place with Black culture. And I think it's just, you just need to tap more into that. Maybe getting ideas from different people. But
that's what I was saying. I don't even necessarily think that jazz quartet was like I look at that more of a like geography standpoint than I do
Well,
just like the modular, the jazz club wasn't said, oh, this is a black set. It's just a modular.
right.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm kind of curious
Okay.
though, because you've been working on this Bob Marley mosaic.
That's what I was about to
and-
say.
And I was going to
Whereas-
say, well, we've got an Elvis mosaic, we've got a Rolling Stone mosaic. How about us getting, a Bob Marley mosaic? You know what I mean?
Brickcraft
I
sent me
don't
this
think
to
that-
review, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. And like Lego is missing opportunities just for culture. And his movie's coming out on the 14th about his
Valentine's Day.
life. But and again, he's not a Black American either. That's what we were saying with nationality, just representation
Right.
outside of this American bubble, black and white.
And I think that's what it is. I don't think it's trying to pinpoint, not to demote what your comment was, Mo, but I don't think it's to pinpoint culture necessarily. It's just to pinpoint or, like skin color. And I know that seems very shallow in a way, but I just as a broad representation, because certainly white people, our cultures are so broken up into so many different things because most of us, like myself, we're mutts. You know what I mean? We're
everybody
part
is
part that, part this, huh?
I mean, everybody is. I mean, if you look at America, I don't care what anybody says. America, the only reason we're cultured is because we've taken everybody else's.
And look, I mean, and I know I'm not the only one, but I love that America is a melting pot, man. Like, I love diversity. So, like, I know a lot of people are like, I don't see color. No, I do see color, man. I just don't care. You know what I mean? But, dude, of course I see color, man. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you? But, God, dude, it'd be so boring if everybody looked and acted the same, dude. Like, come on. But, yeah, like you said, pulling from different cultures and stuff, like,
I mean, there is no. I don't care what anybody says. That's what we're made of as Americans.
Yeah, well, because I know we can sit there and go way back in time to other countries, like way, way back. But I mean, yeah, America had people here before we even got here. You know what I mean? And when we came here, we brought wherever we were from to here as well. I mean, clearly, Black people, it's a totally different story. But I mean, like, yeah, you're right. Anybody that's come to this, we're all immigrants to this country, you know what I mean? Essentially. And we all brought different things here. But yeah. Anybody want to have any closing statements? Mo, you want to start anything you want to, kind of touch upon real quick with, what we've talked about? You want to shout anything out? We're going to have to start kind of wrapping stuff up here in just a minute. But I figured I'd start with you, see what kind of things you might want to put out there.
I don't think so. Mama Mo's tomorrow at 9:00. And I think that's it. Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, definitely. After the show, I'll put the links to CC and Mo's links in there in the description, so that way you guys can go check them out. What about you, CC?
Yeah, so closing thoughts. I thought this was a very good discussion. I'm always very passionate to hear about what other people's opinions are and how we can move forward. And I don't know, maybe in sometime in the future, in my 10th year collecting, wherever that may be, we might actually have an extra pack or a people pack of just different flesh tone heads and hands and stuff. So excited for that. As far as plugging anything, I now, for the year of 2024, year of our Lord, I stream Thursdays and Fridays at 4. Thursdays is covering Lego news and just different topics. And then Friday is Lego Fortnite Friday. I'm slowly taking over that universe that is Lego Fortnite, building different villages and stuff. So yeah, come build with me digitally.
Right on. Yeah, that Fortnite going through a lot of changes. Real quick before we get to Lene, I wanted to say something about Fortnite that just blew my mind. So I saw the other day, I don't know how long ago it was, but I guess Disney is gonna have like all their stuff in Fortnite. Well, not all their stuff, but like tons of their stuff in Fortnite, right? So I thought this was a pretty quick thing, like it was gonna happen real soon. And then T-Mog showed me this article or whatever. And he was like I guess the official people are saying like, yeah, it's maybe a couple years, maybe. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. But it seems like the Lego aspect of it's been pretty popular. I don't know if it's still going strong, but it seemed like a lot of people liked it, man. Brick Babe. What you got?
Quick wrap up. Yellow is good. Flesh tone is good. There are pros with everyone. Like Hive said at the beginning, this wasn't to bash anybody. It's just to have an open, healthy discussion. And Mo said it all. Mom and Mo at 9. But yellow's good. Flesh tone's good. It's good to have options.
Right on. Yeah. No, I definitely agree. You know, look, if you don't talk about stuff, you never know. I say this, I hammer this home all the time to almost everybody I know, man. Communication is key in everything, in a relationship, in a friendship, in a business thing, workplace, what we're doing now. You know, you got to talk stuff out, even if you don't agree. You know what I mean? You got to at least, even if you don't agree, you at least got to come to the conclusion, we don't agree. We're going to agree to disagree, you know, but if you don't even get to that point, you know. Rich, Bearded Brix, what you got, brother?
I'm still gonna pop out a short every day. I've
You've been cranking them out too.
Today I've got one for today already. I'll be posting it in a little while, and then I'm gonna continue to work on them for the rest of the week. This week I actually go live on Valentine's Day, so I don't know how many people are going to be there, but we do have a special. All of our significant others will be there, and we've all got them something. They're going to be building stuff. We got a bunch of participations from the wives, I will say.
I'd even get a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything beyond that because I don't even know what's going to happen. Awesome. Yeah, definitely go check that out. That'll be a fun stream. And you know what's great about that? Also, it's a little different. You know, like I remember Cece, you know, would have you guys aren't married, right, Cece?
We are now married.
Oh my goodness. So Cece and her husband, I know, would hang out a lot on some streams and stuff, but you don't really see it a lot. And I always admire when the significant other will join, you know, who we know, because you're like, oh wow, you know, I was always wondering what you look like,
I'll watch it, Haley's
what you're like, or you know, because I know not everybody cares, but there's been a ton of people, man, they've been wanting to see Mrs. Hive for years, and a couple of people actually had the pleasure to meet her in person, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll convince her to come on a stream. Anyways, all right. So as far as what I got going on, hopefully we'll have a weekend review out in a couple of days. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing because I'm injured. You see some crutches right there, so it's hard for me to move around. It's like, dude, you know how hard it is trying to get through this Lego room on crutches, man. It's like, have you done? I was over there filming for the intro, and the crutches like fell, and they hit the table of the city. And like I'm doing a stop motion, like it's taken forever to do, but like it's a long stop motion. But yeah, like a bunch of the figs fell, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to look through the camera and like try and place them exactly where I had them. So nightmare.
No.
Yeah, it's nightmare fuel.
You're gonna have to have crutches next week on your sig fig.
Dude, I told Mrs. High, I was like, man, just give me a wheelchair. I'll just
or the wheelchair. We'll take that.
You
but we need to see your sig fig.
Now you can't take Brick Babe's wheelchair. That's hers.
Oh,
she's
right.
Already patented
Rich,
right.
Really, Rich? Really, Rich?
She's
Really,
already
Rich?
patented.
Rich? Really?
You
How
said
did you
it's
like,
a surprise.
you said that was your intro.
All right, real quick. Also, dude, you guys have had so many good comments, and I'm sorry. I've been kind of going through them, but we're out of time. You know what I mean? So I can't highlight them all. But man, I wish I could, because you guys definitely put out a lot of good comments out there, a lot of good different perceptions and opinions and all that. Modus says Hive has no legs, as he always uses a wheelchair. That's a little inside joke. Maybe one day I'll wear the shirts. Everybody knows. All right, you guys.
Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes, enjoy the Super Bowl if you're going to watch it. Enjoy the commercials if you like them. Like I said, we will have part 2 to Black History Month next week, where it's not really as much subject matter. We're going to highlight creators, builds, that kind of stuff. I just want to highlight just the Black community in the Lego world, instead of just talking about like stuff that we were talking about. It should be a little bit, not that this was bad discussion. I thought it was really good. I thought we kept it good and positive and everything, but I think it'll be a little more lighthearted on the next episode. So you guys, I appreciate all of your guys' maturity and your meaningful insight in the comments. It really means a lot that you guys, even the people that disagreed, man, kudos to all of you guys for just being awesome. We did have 74 votes. I'm closing the poll, 55%, 45%. So 10% more of you do agree that we should have some flesh tone and more than just friends and IP sets. So it's pretty cool. Art 22. Hello, hello, hello. All right. We're going to go ahead and end the show. What we do at the end of the show, we highlight the members with a background and the outro, just to kind of say thank you. Thank you to Mo, Lights Camera Lego. Thank you to Cece, Cafe Corner. I don't want to speak for anything. I don't know what kind of plans you guys got, but you guys are definitely welcome to come back next week if you want. I know CC, you said you were definitely considering it, but I know we all have lives and things going on. So if you can't, I understand. But if you do want to come back on, please do. I enjoyed you guys' opinions, and I adore both of you guys immensely. So, all right, here's the outro, everybody. We'll see you next week. Peace out.